Alright, we're here with, I don't know, I've been wanting to, have a longer discussion video, but there's really no, where's my head-to-head? Oh, need a second controller. But, I've been achievement hunting this game for RA, which I'll get into in a little bit, but I decided that I kind of have a lot to say on a lot of stuff that doesn't really fit in other videos, and so we'll kind of have, I don't know, make this like a podcast type thing. I don't know. It's relaxing. Not this game. This game sucks dick. But ignoring that, what am I doing? I need a single race. Let's go grab. We need to do that achievement. I think we have both Euro EX and US Marathon EX to do. So we'll do those, get those out of the way, and then we'll see where else that ends up. But overall, today's kind of going to be what is RA and the event going on because I think that's pretty important. Um, so if you don't know what RA is, basically it's retro achievements. Imagine Xbox 360 achievements or PSN trophies. Why did I say 360 and then meant whatever? But Xbox Live achievements and then PSN trophies, and put it for older consoles such as the GameCube, which is what we're playing right now. Um, and basically you then get a score depending on how hard the achievement is. Not every single achievement set is equal. Of course, some games are way harder and some are scored really poorly, but that's something I'll talk for another time when I'm not crashing like a goddamn moron. um, and basically there's a range of consoles on the site. I don't know how many there is anymore. I know at some point it was a certain number that I can't remember. It doesn't really matter. Basically, NES games, N64 games, GameCube, Sega Master System, and then one-off consoles. Like, there's a bunch of other stuff that I just mentioned. I don't know why I didn't turn. I'm dumb. But right now, we're in the GameCube event. GameCube just came out. It's almost a month, and probably when this is uploaded, it'll be like 2 days before the month, or a day, or something like that. Overall, it'll be really close. Hold on here. We Can you tell I played this game before? Can you tell I haven't played this game before? But ignoring that, we are in a GameCube event, which is basically get 30 points and you get a gold medal, 20 is silver, and 10 is bronze. You get points for beating, mastering, and yeah, for games, which I guess I should specify. Beat is not just beating the game sometimes, it's whatever the progression's marked as in the achievement set. Some people just do the main story, some have a little bit of extra stuff sometimes. Uh, it depends on the developer for the achievement set. Uh, and then there's, oh, that was terrible. But it also depends on a bunch of other factors sometimes. Mastery is getting every single achievement in the set, which is in hardcore, by the way. Which is also another separate. Oh my god, I thought I was going to be able to go into the event, but man, I have so many things to discuss. But there's softcore and hardcore. Softcore allows you to use save states, so if I was like, oh man, I suck, I could just save state if I want to use softcore. Uh, I don't believe in that. Not that I don't believe in that, it's just it's not for me. I like playing most of these games like I would on an actual console. Besides speed up, that's really nice. Speed up is allowed on hardcore, and I think rapid fire is also allowed, but I could be wrong. Um, some some emulators just have it naturally, like the Neo Geo. Messin for NES has it. I can't drive, but luckily this is a super forgetting racetrack. Did I say forgetting or forgiving? But and right now we're in the GameCube event, which is cool. Um, basically, with the GameCube launch, of course, it's a big thing. GameCube is one of the most popular consoles nowadays. Not back in the day. None of you bought it. Fucking losers. Um, but and it really, I don't remember the total count at launch, but it was like 70 plus. I'm pretty sure, with subsets and stuff. Which subsets are just extra challenges on top of games, which I'll talk about one specifically. What? Oh, okay. there's like a massive amount of dirt. I was just like, what? I tried to turn. I blame the game. But yeah, we're in the GameCube event. I think I'm at like 7 points, which isn't great, but I've been kind of relaxing on it. I just, I've been going through Melee slowly, which is worth, it has a bounty of a 3 times multiplier for the points, which is nice. So whenever I get the beat for that and potentially the badge, because I still have 3 months. Can I drive? No? Okay, nice. Acting like my sister here. But when I get that, I'll get 3 points, which is really nice. I'm actually really close on Melee. I have like a bunch of adventure mode stuff, but that's about it. I could technically probably be grinding that instead, but I don't know. I kind of want to get Burnout out of the way. I hate Burnout 1. I think Burnout 1's one of the most boring, like, racing games you could play. So why did I pick it? Well, because I like having all the badges for a series sometimes. And even though I'm not close with Burnout, has to start somewhere. I am really close to Burnout too, so explains a lot. But the event itself is much better ran than PS2's. The rules are a lot better stated, and more importantly, there's no like weird changes like halfway through. The bounties seem incredibly fair. That guy crashed like a moron. Watch me die now. Yeah, I knew it. But it's much better ran, which is, a difference of a couple years. I I also really like GameCube's like selection of games. Some of them are missing that I think are pretty like important. Like most of the important ones were covered near the launch week. I should say that because while most of them did launch on the day, a few of them launched a bit later with some fixes or whatever have you. But I think most of the games that you think of GameCube were launched in the week. There's a few missing ones that we'll see eventually. One of the big ones for me is XD Gale of Darkness, the Pokemon game, because, it's kind of the, Pokemon part of my gaming history. Which I'll talk about Coliseum in a second because it did actually come out. But yeah, like the Mario parties, which Mario Party 4, 5, and 6 were put out. You had a bunch of the Mario sports games, which were kind of glitchy. They still kind of are, if we're being honest, but they're doing a decent job repairing those. And we have, of course, Burnout 1, which came out quite a bit later. I think almost like just a week ago, so like 2-3 weeks in to the event. So it's actually pretty far, this game. Another one that came out a little bit later was Eggmania, which I posted Sunday. Whenever this game is, I don't know when I'm gonna decide to make these regular days, whether it's gonna be Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Probably Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. That sounds a lot better for me. But it'll probably be mornings, so this is being recorded Monday afternoon. So yeah, it's gonna be Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. But when it comes to a lot of the stuff that was released, I wasn't too interested in it. Like, of course, I'm gonna play Melee. I love Melee. Wind Waker, when it because it came out a couple days later, I think. I was gonna play Wind Waker. Wind Waker's probably my second favorite Zelda. I think Link Between Worlds is the best one, but yeah, that's just me apparently. I also love Majora's Mask, but just because like it exists on the site and I love it doesn't mean I badge it. In fact, most of the badges on my profile are games that I did not play before RA, besides Pokemon. Pokemon's the only one where I'm just like, yeah, I'll go do this. I haven't played, well, I've played, but I haven't like badged any of the Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, Phantasy Star. RPGs are sticking in my head. Breath of Fire, Chrono Trigger. I haven't done like any of the stuff that like I played when I was a kid or I still play regularly, like Shin Megami Tensei. I haven't played any of those because I don't know, RA is something to explore. But now I'm in the higher ranks of the leaderboard, so I'm probably gonna start pulling out, you know, all the games I've played before. Plus, it's been a couple years since I played most of them, so it's a nice little spacer. And you'll probably see a bunch of them. I might skip out on mostly zero RPGs here because only a few of them I think are interesting to have in the background. Because that's all this is background play. I just happen to be playing at the same time I'm talking. Um, which apparently is going to go wrong here because I can't drive. If I had crashed to that, I would have been pissed. I thought for some reason that was a van and it was pushed up forward. I don't. Maybe it was my eyes. How is that guy so fast? Come back. Okay, let's dodge you, please. All right. We always succeed in that turn. The AI kind of sucks at it, so it's a freebie. But yeah, I've been mostly playing new stuff. Like Burnout 3 is an exception. There's a couple exceptions on my page, which I guess I'll be linking in every single one of these, so you can see the progress and how much time I waste on this. But my goal is to I don't know, probably be top 100 this year, which is pretty brutal. Especially since the amount of people that are going for that spot now is incredibly high. But I think I'll get top 100 pretty quickly, actually. A lot of the people that play are either very like console specific on RA, and don't get me wrong, there's of course exceptions to this entire thing before I get into it, but they're either genre specific, they're console specific, or they're like an era specific person, which I don't blame them. If you grew up playing video games on the Atari 2600, I don't blame you. I do think of you less as a person, but that I don't blame you for it. I wasn't sure if there was gonna be a car there. I was ready to die. But what was I talking? Oh yeah. And of course, like as you get farther along in the top hardcore points leaderboard, you get less people that are like locked into genres, locked into consoles. You still get a bunch of people that are locked into archetypes, I like to call it, where it's like the similar style of game, and they have a really hard time getting out of it. But hey, that's life. I just realized lap 1 was 440. Did I crash like 8 times? Holy shit. Let's not crash there, thank you. Alright. I don't know where the oh, he's right behind me. This is gonna be really close. Now, why would you spin? I hate this game. Alright, is that finish? I'm just gonna do this. Hopefully not crash. There we go. And we get the 10 points. You can see the achievement thing. I don't know how to change Dolphin's location for my RetroArch. I know I have it in center. PSX, I'm able to move it, but I choose to not. So there's the Euro Marathon. We're gonna go do the USA Marathon as we do the spacer. But before I forget, I should take a drink as well. This isn't like a normal video. More of a hangout, so I can talk about everything and anything. There'll be some random shit, I'm sure. Special. Oh no, we have single race. We have U.S. Marathon. I should probably check this before I start, but I'm pretty sure this is it. Let me make sure. So, I want to talk about the GameCube event proper because that's going to be the most like relevant thing going on RA. There's a couple other like events that I want to talk about, but I'm also not a big event whore in general. I did like Rack It Up, which I will probably talk about at some point, but I don't. Or Rack It Up and Peak Streak, which oh my god, Peak Streak, ugh. But yeah, like I'll talk about them one day, but I don't think they're as relevant. That was terrible lag. Hopefully that's not my PC dying. I'm like, I think I'm like 10, 15 minutes in. I have a timer somewhere for an hour, so that's the limit on these. But ignoring that, I want to talk about the GameCube event proper. My issues with it, mostly because I think it's mostly been a great job. I want to state that right away. When it comes to like the entire event, it's on point. The moderators are really good at organizing events now. Uh, I do think that there are limitations that really suck with the site right now. Is that you don't really know how many points you have. And while there are like forum posts that like go into who has what, unless you're keeping track yourself, you're not going to know on a day by day basis, which is a little annoying. But it's also, I understand that the load of the event like points on the site would be pretty annoying. So I do get why it's not the case that you could see it like on your profile. Um, it makes sense, but it's also like a, a pretty decent annoyance, a fair annoyance to have. Another one that I think is a bigger issue in general is the worth of a game in the event. So I kind of glanced over it earlier, but there's these games that have bounties, which, for example, like Smash Bros. Melee has a 3 times multiplier. So if you beat it, you get 3 points in the event. If you master it, you get 3 more points. So you get 6 points in total, which is 1/5 of the event. Rightfully so. It's a very long set, and it's a hard one to master. Um, well, it's time consuming anyway. And when it comes to like the games that are chosen, I don't really have a complaint for those that are chosen, besides a few like problematic ones. But my issue is that there are some games that are incredibly easy to beat, where their badges are going to take 40 times the amount of time. Off the top of my head, a most recent set that came out just a week and a half ago, maybe. I'm really glad they all spawned in front of me, by the way. Real fucking nice. Uh, is Dragon Ball Z Budokai 2, which, if you know anything about Budokai 2, you're like, oh, that's not that long of a game. It's not. If you play on normal, it's pretty quick, takes very little time. You could finish it in like 25 minutes if you're skipping all the dialogue. Like, if you know what you're doing in that game, normal isn't that hard. Just 25 minutes, you're done. Um, Hell, if you're slow, 40 minutes, woo. And you get a point for the event, which is really good. Like, if you got a point for an hour, that's insane. Uh, and that's fine and all, and so it makes sense that the beat would be 1 time. The problem is that the mastery for the game is collect all breakthroughs, which, if you know anything about Budokai, uh, Budokai 2 has some of the longest collectibles to get. You have to get all the Dragon Balls, and then you have to finish the playthrough you're on, which basically requires you go through the game about 30 times. Which, don't get me wrong, I understand why that's the mastery requirements. Like, you are doing everything in the game for the mastery requirements. I almost made that turn. Uh, and I get it for the mastery. That's fine. The problem is that for the event, it doesn't match up fairly with like other masteries of the same length, because their total base game is like longer. And so you get this like really unfair thing where like Pokemon Coliseum is worth the same as Budokai 2, even though Budokai 2 in theory is going to take way longer, because you also can't speed up through it, which is relevant. But even if you just don't speed up and you're just doing it normally, they're going to take about the same amount of time, and they're worth the same. And to me, Budokai 2 is just way more complicated to get the mastery for, even if it's the same time. And there's a bunch of other ones that are like that, which I'll get into, but like Budokai 2 is the one where I have an issue with it. I have an issue with Mario Party 4 and 6, actually. Wow, this is very nice. I cannot turn. I still cannot turn. Very nice. Uh, but like Mario Party 4 has this really annoying case where beating the game will take you. Uh, I want to say like an hour and a half. Um, a little bit longer actually because you have five or I think you have five boards, six boards. I don't know. You have to do that. Whatever it takes, like 2-3 hours. Um, and you get the beat, and so that makes sense. It's a point. But the mastery for that game, I think, is way harder than people give credit because there's achievements for getting the highest like rank for all the extra mini games, which I don't know if anybody has ever tried in their life before. I tried when I was a kid with my sister because we thought like it would be cool, and we thought we got the highest ones, but that's not true at all. Um, but we did it a lot, and we got we got pretty good at those mini games, and I can't get the extra rank in a lot of stuff. Some of it's very luck based, like is it Doors of Doom, the Bowser one? I don't know, but it's a 50-50 the whole time, and the game decides as soon as you turn on the game whether you win or lose. And so it's like one of those things where you're just sitting there and you're in speed up and you're just right trigger, but you still have to win 9 50-50s. But it's not even a true 50-50 because the game decided a long time ago. It just gives you the illusion. So overall, it's like, and that's just one. That's just one of the mini games. You have the oil one, which I think is pretty easy overall. You have the Goomba Stomps, which is easy, but then you get into like the medical one, which is 50 patients, I think, or 100, or I don't know. It's incredibly long. You're gonna be there for like 20 minutes on a try that gets into the 40s because you're just sitting there like thinking, and like you're probably gonna pause because you're stressed, and it's also like not the easiest mini game, and that's not even including the other two mini games, which I think are brutal. And it's not like the hardest thing in the world, but I do think like those achievements being that hard and the rest of the set requiring you to beat every single character's story mode, I think it deserves a 2 times multiplier on mastery. Like, and that's one of the things I really wish was separated in the event. It's and don't get me wrong, I do get why it's not the case. It takes a lot more work to separate it like that. It's not like as easy as plugging in a spreadsheet. Who unlocked this? Okay, they get 1. Who unlocks this? Oh, they got 2. Who unlocks this? They got 4. Oh, they got 6. Like I get it. It's ease of access, blah blah blah, but it's still one of those things of some games deserve for 100%ing and like getting everything included in them. They deserve the 2 and in some cases 3 times multiplier because their mastery is that brutal. Like, and I just think like it's a really unbalanced part of the event in my opinion because there's a lot of games that are like really short that you can get the quick mastery in a couple hours and you have 2 points. Then there's one games like this, which I guess if you're really good you could do in like 6 hours, and so it makes sense for it to be 2 points. But then you look at something like I'm trying to think of another two. Budokai 2, I already mentioned it. You're gonna be at that for 30 hours. I'm pretty sure, because it's gonna take you about an hour to go through the story. That's not true, but it's gonna take you about an hour to go through the story and get everything else in there. So you're at like 30 hours. It's gonna be a little shorter than that. It's actually like 20, but ignoring that, I don't think it's fair to have that be matched with something like this or like some of the other single games that don't take that long. Um, I don't know. It's one of those issues that I don't think has a really fixable solution besides changing the multipliers on beats and masteries. But at the same time, it becomes way more complicated for the staff of the event to, handle. And a lot of people are like, well, it's a website. It's not that hard. It is when you're talking about tens of thousands of players. And so I do get the restrictions involved. It's just my big complaint about the event. where some stuff is not worth what it actually is, which is a RA problem in total, which I'll talk about one day, I'm sure. It gets brought up a lot to me. Um, but overall, outside of that, I do think the GameCube event is really, really fun. Um, it gives me achievements, and I'm a big. I really wish achievements existed a long time ago, or I knew about it for a lot of games, because I played a lot of games when I was younger, and I still play a lot of stuff now. I think that's pretty obvious, but um, and just having achievements for them and just being like, hey, look, I did do this and I did 100% them, and it would have been really nice, like just to see also how it compares to other people, because there is a bit of a competitive spirit to it. Um, but yeah, I think the event's going well. I do want to talk about the games that I've played specifically. So when it was announced, Pokemon Coliseum was put on the list for what would eventually have a set, and I'm excited. If you don't know, based on the freaking profile picture, I'm a big Pokemon fan, like a big one, and Coliseum happens to be one of my favorite games. I think XD Gale of Darkness is better, but that happens to do with the Pokemon you have access to. But I do like Coliseum a lot. Um, and so I decided that was going to be like the first one I go for the mastery on. It also got a subset, which is Umbreon and Espeon only, which is the freest subset in the world if you know anything about Coliseum. But I go through and, I'm catching all the Pokemon, and I realize about halfway through, a little too late, mind you, that I would have to do the Battle Now tournaments, which, if you don't know, are the extra modes in Coliseum. It's implied that you're supposed to be able to transfer, like, GBA games Pokemon to, like, make it easier and have, like, be able to beat it and get Poke coupons and a bunch of stuff. Like, it's implied that you're supposed to be able to do that. Of course, there's restrictions on RA to prevent, like, trades, like, manipulating stuff. So trading is usually banned in this case, especially for Pokemon sets. And so you have to go in with a team from the end game, which, if you don't know, is incredibly hard when it's not set up properly. If you don't have a team, why are you this fast? Go away. No, seriously, go away. What's your problem? Serious? This guy murdered me for fun. I hate this world. How far away? I still have a couple minutes to catch up. But, and so, why is he so fast now? Don't tell me I'm going to lose. But, and so, I was about halfway through. At this point, I was finishing the Shadow Lab when I remembered I was going to have to do that. And I remembered how ridiculously hard it is. Because you're not up against, like, oh, I'm going to use a Shedinja and a Wigglytuff to troll my opponent. That's not the opponents you're up against. You're up against some pretty stacked legendaries, and they're EV to actually be able to outspeed a lot of stuff. For example, Kyogre was EV to outspeed my Raikou, which is really fucked up. Like, just if you know anything about the situation, it's really fucked up. But and so it was really brutal, and I had to prepare with the team that I had. I was incredibly lucky that my Raikou had HP Ice. Thank the Lord. There's a lot of Dragon Ice Pokemon you end up fighting. A great example is like Rayquaza. There's a bunch of Salamences. There's a couple Altarias. Altarias didn't die, but it was good for chip damage. No, why would you spin out? I did nothing wrong there. This is bullshit. I actually did nothing wrong there. Just give an idea of how little I was turning. This is how much I was turning. And I still spun out. Bullshit. Alright, can we get an... I need to be an oncoming here. I need to get the boost. Where is he going? What? How did I... I'm gonna lose because this game trolled me. Like, don't get me wrong, I haven't been doing great, but what the fuck? Get off the wall. You gotta be kidding me. And the end is right there. That's so stupid. It's like right here. It's like right and then left, right? Oh no. Oh no, we still have a little bit. And it's right there. I lost. I have to get super greedy. I'm trying my best. We're almost to the end. Get out of my way. Oncoming lane, we have to stay here. I'm sorry, I'll continue my story. Nope, go away. I can't see over this stupid, like, little bump in the wall. Someone crashed. Please stay crashed for the rest of your life. I think that's called death when you think about it, but ignoring that. Sorry, I have to focus on this. I'm not going to waste, like, 16 minutes of my life and not get anything out of it. Okay, I'm just going to let this fade out for a second. Probably a bad idea. Oh no. I saw these cars and I kind of hated everything. Okay, they're back there. They're hitting each other. Please just stay away. That guy is that far back. That's insane. Nope, dodge you. Try and dodge the random vehicles that'll show up. Okay, we have the last turn here. Let's not crash. No. No. You must... Reverse! I fucking hate this game. There's no fucking way that just happened. I messed up the turn, yes, but why would I spin out? Fucking stupid. Fucking stupid. But back to fucking this. I'm so triggered. What the fuck? Anyway, back to what I was saying. The battle mode in Coliseum is pretty ridiculous in like what is required from you to succeed. And usually you have the GBA games as your backing, which is, you know, like it makes it a lot easier to handle the Kyogres, the Latioses, the slacking with skill swap. Like it, you have stuff. I'm just gonna ignore my shitty driving and you'll hear a gunshot and me be quiet. But like ignoring all that, and you just are limited to what you have in game for Coliseum, which are the 50-ish Shadow Pokemon, plus Espeon, Umbreon, and Plusle, which Plusle isn't that great, but it does have some utility. And you have to kind of make a winning team against legendaries, and there's going to be a lot of RNG involved in the battle mode. If there isn't, you're cheating, straight up. But it is a really hard ask, especially for what I ended up rolling. I rolled a really good Raikou. I'm not going to stand by and say it was a bad Raikou. HP Ice was at least 50 power. I didn't look at like the IVs to determine that because I just didn't. But it had to be at least 50 power because I looked at the damage roll of a Salamence and it was 51 power or higher that did the damage. I calced it. And I was like, that's pretty sick. It did fail to kill Rayquaza, but did enough damage for me to clean up later. Raikou was the beast. It basically, it had enough of IVs in every direction to live certain attacks and at least do a decent one back. Raikou was definitely the MVP for me. It also baited out Earthquake all the time, which was really good because I would, I would just bait it out into like my Heracross, which Heracross was surprisingly like not useful, but surprisingly good for just baiting out like Aerial Ace against it. Because when you're up against legendaries like that and you're in a 2v2 situation, specifically the double battle portion, you are basically gonna just sack one side. You're up against legendaries. You don't have the stat total to like be able to like handle it. Like, yeah, you have legendaries of your own, like Raikou and Suicune and Entei, I guess, and Ho specifically, but like you're limited. You don't have a Kyogre that sets up rain that boosts its water moves. You don't have Groudon that makes sun and makes like chlorophyll users have stuff. You don't have any of this, so you have to rely on like just baiting out the AI a lot, which Raikou was really good. Heracross was really good. I had a Flygon that I used sparingly. It was basically my rotating sixth member. Sometimes I use Houndoom uh, if I was gonna use in double battles. Sometimes I swapped out Umbreon for Houndoom. Skarmory was also very amazing for spikes, though it came out very rarely. It came out once in a double battle that I actually went the whole entire way with. Um, I will actually strangle these cars. Like, I will figure out who made this game and strangle all of them. I'm pretty sure half of them are dead, but I'm just gonna boost a little bit. But when it comes to that, I didn't have a great setup for a lot of the Pokemon that I could use. Like Grand Bull has Intimidate, and it was not defensive at all. I'm pretty sure uh, it had to maybe have like some of the lowest IVs I've ever seen for defenses, which is why I needed it. I needed to tank at least one hit, and it just never could. It had decent attack, I think, from what I was trying with it. I used it in the level 50 Coliseums a bit. It had some uses, but it wasn't great. And like there was Meltank, who I think was overall good, but Meltank isn't that great. It's like more utility, and while that's fine, it doesn't have the damage output for the later legendaries unless I'm body slam, like headbutt flinching garbage. I doubt it's gonna work out. Um, at the same time, there was a bunch of other Pokemon that like I tried to use that just didn't work. One of the ones that really frustrated me was my Suicune. If you don't know, Suicune is invaluable for that. And I had an adamant Suicune, which, if you don't know, is like the worst roll I could have gotten. Like, a Suicune straight up, like, and don't get me wrong, still came in clutch because of the massive defenses, but the loss on Surf damage was really, really depressing. Also, I used Blizzard. So it was Surf, Blizzard, Rest, and then depending on what I was gonna do, there was a bit where I used Toxic on it. For some reason, I thought that was the final lap. Maybe because I've already played through this, but uh, there was a bit where no, it wasn't Toxic. What did I use on the fourth? I don't. It eventually became something else. I don't actually remember, but like ignoring that, it was like it still had its use. It's just it couldn't be as good as it possibly could have. Adamant Suicune really, really sucks in that department. 10% less damage really sucks. It's not exactly 10%, it's 10% less stats, which goes blah, blah, blah. Nobody cares. But yeah, and my Entei wasn't that great either. I wasn't going to use it anyway. My Ho was okay, but Ho actually just got trashed by most of the legendary teams. Rayquaza kind of trashed it. Kyogre, of course, killed it. And Groudon didn't care for it. Even the boosted, like, Fire Blast didn't matter. Um, yeah, like, ultimately, it was basically a team of Espeon, Raikou, Suicune, Flygon, Heracross, and then a bunch of others that I swapped in for what I thought would work out. Some of them didn't, like Fortress. Fortress got destroyed. How are these guys so fucking close to me? So close that they're now in first. So frustrating. But eventually I did prevail. I got incredibly lucky with the final battle. Paired off with Slacking to use Skill Swap. And that basically means whatever is on the other side of Slacking I can ignore. Because they're going to immediately Skill Swap. Slacking's going to attack. So I just try and nuke it or get status on it. Basically, I tried to get status on it. And I got status, which was really good. Skill swapped. I did get nuked. I forget. I think I lost Heracross. I think that was the lost there. Did I lead Heracross? It might have been Flygon. And the Slacking killed whatever it was. I don't remember. The only one that matters is Raikou. Raikou managed to kill all 4 Pokemon. The rest of them were just straight up fodder. But basically, Slacking ended up dying, and I kept the skill swap Truant Pokemon, which I don't remember what it is in that one. I'm sure it's something I'm forgetting off the top of my head. Sorry. It's been like 3 weeks since I've done it. And then who came out? I think it had to be Salamence. Yeah, because I HP iced it during a Truant turn. And HP Ice didn't kill the Latios, which is what came out afterwards. And Latios, I had to bully down. Luckily, it was focusing the remaining Pokemon I had on the side. The other Pokemon with Truant managed to hit Raikou. Didn't kill Raikou, though. I can't make this turn, apparently. Can I please? I'm going to be so pissed. Dude, turn! How am I able to make those turns like that with 0 speed, but then I have a little more speed? What the fuck? I hate this game. But then I managed to get through Truant. I realized Latios was going to focus down, and so I just killed the Truant user. My Raikou I protected out, and I went for a Thunder, got the Paralysis, and then I just crunched down and got another Paralysis and won. Really luck-based, but that's how you have to play that. You don't have super strong Pokemon. I say that as Raikou was weak or anything. Raikou is incredibly powerful in Gen 3, but, I mean, when you're comparing with, like, you know, Latios, Kyogre, and, like, legendary Pokemon like that, it's a little bit different, okay? Raikou was, like, an overused. Latios was in Ubers. There's a difference. It's not an incredible difference, to say sometimes, but it definitely was really, really, you could definitely tell in battle mode. I do appreciate the HP Ice I got. If I didn't get HP Ice on that Raikou, when I caught it, because I caught, at that point before I had started checking for natures, I had already saved and caught all 3 legendary dogs. So I was stuck with whatever I got, and I happened to get HP Ice, which I didn't even know was possible. I thought Coliseum rolled IVs certain ways, so you couldn't get, like, certain things. I thought that was shiny check, but I did get HP Ice. I don't know if that's actually, like, common. I don't know how IVs are rolled specifically in Coliseum. I don't know. But it had to be HP Ice because it was super effective against Flying Dragon, which, unless it was Dragon, which I guess it could have been, but, like, there's no way it kills a Salamence in one hit, right? There's no way. Raikou has, like, good special attack, but not that good. Like, it has to be HP Ice. I never bothered checking. I'm sure it's something, like, it has to be HP Ice. There's no actual way it's Dragon. But yeah, that was kind of the first big run I did for GameCube, and I've been working on a bunch of other stuff. I took a break and got some free points from a couple Bleach sets, which I might make a tier list video on the characters, because I do have a lot to say on those. Mostly because I've done the first 5, I'm working on 6. We'll see. What else did I do? I did beat Mario Party 4. There was a glitch at the start, which kind of made me have to redo the first bit, which was very not enjoyable, but whatever. I also... Oh, I did the Coliseum subset for Espeon and Umbreon only. You couldn't have anybody else in your party. Wasn't that hard, actually. Yes, there was some teams, specifically like the final boss, and weirdly, I do think Gakim was also very annoying. Specifically the first time, but that had to do with Earthquake. Overall, Umbreon's a beast, doesn't die to anything, and Espeon dies to everything. So, it's a little bit different. That's nice. I'm really glad I had zero choice in that regard. Like, I actually had zero choice. It may look like I was sat there, but I was turning all the way right. I know I hit the dirt, but I should have been able... So stupid. You deserve it. I don't deserve that. Also, one of the reasons I hate Burnout 1, and this is always going to be the reason, it's not the wonky fucking collision. It's the fact I cannot see in front of me half the time. Like, I cannot see what cars are there. Like, where was that car? Where was this semi? I cannot prepare. It's really frustrating. I didn't even see that car. I'm pretty sure red crashed there. Also, fuck, man. I'm really glad, yeah, you could just slow walk. Did it spawn me backwards? I think it did. Also, here's fourth. Let's just dodge that, please. Alright. Yeah, and I've done a few other sets that I beat real quick. I've been working on Eggmania, and I'm getting my ass kicked. Dude, why am I spinning out? What the fuck am I hooked on? I think this game is just scamming me. This game is so fucking bad. I don't actually know what hooked me there. Like, I understand, like, this car sucks when it hits a wall. That makes sense. But I don't know what hit me to the point where I spun out. That's why, Burnout became such a good fucking series. Get off the wall. If you actually I stopped turning, by the way. That was entirely the game. Alright. Let's try and fucking win, I guess. I doubt it at this point. I'm just gonna fucking rage. Which will be such a great start to this. I'm so happy. I've crashed into that before. There's a dog. I hate... If I lose because the AI did that on purpose... Yep, you're gonna hear a dog. Sorry, can't help it. Not much I can do. Alright. Oncoming. Oh my god, dog, shut up. The problem is she does this every hour. Like, I wouldn't have a problem if she straight up just did this, like, whenever the person came home. Or whenever she actually heard a noise. But she actually is just a scam dog. And she just does this normally. Like, straight up. But, and it also is one of those things, like, I'm used to, with, like, with dogs just in general, just, like, checking, like, the front door and stuff. And, oh my god. Can I not, stay away from me. All of you stay away from me. Please. Thank you. Get me out. Oh my god, that was so annoying. Extra American. I will never retry that in my life. Holy crap. Alright, I'm gonna check the achievement list of what I need to do real quick. I think I have survivals, and then I have the specials. I don't... We'll give a survival a shot before the end, because we haven't hit the hour mark. Also, if you see my mouse, that's me clicking on Dolphin to be able to, you know, do it. But yeah, we'll grab a survival. Might be slightly over an hour. Let's do, well, Gridlock USA. We could give a couple shots, I think. Let's grab this. But yeah. Overall, if you have not heard of RA and this is your first thing, which is really weird, um, you could definitely jump in and collect achievements. Survival here is pretty brutal. I've only gotten one yet. I've tried multiple times with Gridlock. Gridlock is really hard because you have a, I don't want to say it's like a brutal time restriction, but it's not easy. Um, yeah. Overall, not too bad. Whew. Do 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 do. No idea why that popped in my head. I'm excited to, of course, get gold on the GameCube event. We still have 3 months. It was a 4-month event. Can I reverse? Like, I'm starting to feel like I'm being scammed. Like, straight up. Like, I was pressing accelerate the whole time to go forward, and it was just like, nope, you're in brake mode. And I'm just like, from what? Like, I understand there's a shift mechanic in this game, and it does stuff a little weird, but what the fuck? There's no way. There's no way it's that brutal, right? Also, who shifts like that in a freaking racing game? Who goes, I'm gonna shift to reverse. I've done my job. Let me wait 10 to 15 business days, and now I can go into accelerate. Like, who does that? All right, there we go. I already did the time trial stuff, which I probably could have done for this video. Oh, there goes that survival. I guess we could give it another shot. We have enough time, but it'll be the last one. Overall, not too bad. We managed to get. We got 20 points today, and 20 of it, they were just long ones. I could talk about it with stuff in the background, which is probably what you'll see. I'm deciding Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. And of course, there'll be different topics, but I will be achievement hunting in a bunch of different like games. Like, you will not see Burnout 1 again, mostly because I'll probably have raged and left in the dust and then badged it off screen. But you can check my profile to see when I actually did that at any point. Right now, the date is August 12th when I'm playing this. So, more than likely, it'll be like sometime in August, like 2 weeks down the line. More than likely. I'm guessing. I know I'll rage. I already came close with the stupid USA marathon. Because I fucking hate this game. I, I I think it's funny because the PS2 version was worse. I hated everything that happened. Like, and I badged the PS2 version, so, like, it's one of those things where I really didn't want to actually do this again. But I was like, hey, I'm decent at racing games, which apparently not. And I was like, I want the points for the event. And my god, I regret it because Burnout 1 sucks donkey dick. It's so fucking annoying. It's the same car. What was it? We have enough time for one more. But yeah, that'll probably be the schedule for these. I don't know what I'm gonna call it. I just figured out the schedule. I don't have a title, but it'll be in like the, I don't know. YouTube has the podcast tab now, and it's not gonna be like a main upload thing. I did think of maybe going to 2 uploads a day, but then I have to like start recording like batches a lot more. Like, there was, I hate doing that because especially for early access games or games that are still receiving like updates, it becomes a big problem like when I'm like 5 weeks out because I don't focus on one game. One, because I can't. Um, I'm just not built that way. Uh, I'm sure like there's ADHD in there or something, but like I straight up have to have like 400 games going on at once. Can I not crash? Thank you. But I have to do that, and so it means I can't just upload the same game straight. Okay, I hate this. Uh, I guess that's something for another day. I'll talk about my rapid fire game addiction some other time. But that's it. I don't know what I'm calling this. Yeah. If you are on RA, something, something, something. I don't know. What am I supposed to say here? It was just me talking for an hour.